tour. Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon, everyone all over the world, wherever you are. I hope you are good. I hope you are well. Welcome back to another episode of Late Night Lilywhite, my favourite show of all time whenever I'm on YouTube. I hope everyone is good. Right, a few things to get through before we actually get talking about Tottenham Hotspur. First of all, apologies for no show on Sunday. I really wanted to do that show Sunday after we survived and after the great show we had together on Saturday evening. I really, really wanted to do it. But I tell you what, after the game finished, I did my little reacts for this channel. I did my bit for We Are Tottenham TV, had my fun and chilled with the people of Toronto Spurs. And then got the train home, and after my wife picked me up and I got home, I was exhausted. It was like the season, the lack of sleep, the emotion and everything got the best of me. So I said to myself, Gerald, I'm just going to go into this room here. I'm going to have a little rest on here before Late Night Lilywhite, and I'll see you in the morning. And I put my head down here. The next thing I knew, it was 4 o'clock Monday morning, and I had been absolutely exhausted and passed the hell out. So I do apologise for no Sunday. Obviously, Spurs are safe. Since Spurs have been safe, we have had the same amount of press releases, statements, videos than we have home wins all season. Today, we have also made our first signing. Not official, but obviously the Here We Go for Robertson. But the other news I want to tell you is there's going to be some changes for Late Night Lilywhite. And I don't just mean for the World Cup. So I've been waiting for this to be confirmed. And yesterday it finally was confirmed. I have now got myself a job, which I am delighted with. It's taken months of rejections and months of sending out CVs with no avail. But I have now got a job. I am going to be a team leader for customer service, which is a thing I do for Airbnb. After my Booking.com 7-year stint, it's the perfect job role to go in. Now, the reason there's going to be changes for Late Night Lilywhite, I'm going to find out my first official day is Monday. I've got to go in on Friday for an orientation day and whatnot. But my shift is going to be the graveyard shift. And when I say graveyard shift, I mean 11 o'clock at night till 7:30 in the morning, which is obviously going to have a major impact when I start doing Late Night Lilywhite at 9 o'clock until whenever we go. So Late Night Lilywhite isn't going anywhere. Late Night Lilywhite, or whatever we're going to name it for the World Cup, isn't going anywhere. It's just have to be a more structured show, and it will be 8 p.m. till 10 p.m. my time during the week. So that'll be 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock back home. So there is going to be, when that starts, my job starts Monday, but they said the training may be starting 11. I may go straight into my training as in 11:30 to 7, or I could have 9 weeks of 9 to 6. So at some point over the next 9 to 10 weeks, there is going to be some changes of the timings and length of the show, but this show isn't going anywhere. What better way to start my day than speaking with you guys and having some great conversations? Obviously, I'm going to start bringing guests on and everything during the summer, make guests a more regular thing. But there's not what a way to start your job. I have a nice, chilled, relaxing, banter-filled, fun time with you guys, and then go do some work. So there's going to be changes. It's going to be a fun time. But the good thing now, the season is over. We are in the Premier League. And let's see what this summer is going to bring. We shall soon see. I'm sure it's going to be a summer of madness, a summer of craziness. And us Spurs fans don't know any other way, are they? So, right, let's start going through the comments and having some fun this evening. Like I said, lots to chat about, but this is the show where you decide everything we talk about. I've put it as the headlines, as obviously Robertson, Here We Go, the Lewis family, Charrington and Vinai statements and videos, and Spurs chat. So that's what we're going to do. So I've just dropped something on the floor. Fuck knows what that was. But let's start. So big up Russell, big up Lord Daigle. I will be out at the start of the show, but I hope to tune in as I'm driving and jump in the chat when I can. God bless one and all. Big up to you, Russell. Thank you for being the first comment. Source King 69, what a name that is. COYS, I enjoy this show very much. Thank you for all the hard work making this show. Cheers from the other side of the pond. All I will say, Source King, is I love doing the show. Thank you for the kind words. But the great thing about this show and what I love about doing with this one is it's you guys that make it. It's not the hard work I do. This show is absolutely nothing, and I do mean nothing, without you guys, because there's no script, there's no, sometimes don't even talk football. It's all about you guys. As this show gets bigger and better and reaches more people, it's all down to you guys. Nothing to do with me, but I appreciate the kind words. My brother Curly is in the chat. Big up to you, buddy. I hope you're good. Winkle 7070. I do love that song. I do love. I would have the Glenn Hoddle song all day long. And seeing that it's still the 27th of May here in North America, or the East Coast of North America, or actually all of North America. Happy birthday, Paul Gascoigne, my footballing icon, the guy I love the most. Happy birthday. Funny, De Zerbi wanted the same player, Robertson, as the previous. Yeah, look, Joe, we'll quickly touch on this with my thoughts about Andy Robertson, and then obviously you guys will chime in and we'll get to yours. Now, I will say that I will say this about Andy Robertson. I think, apart from Ashley Cole, probably the best left back in Premier League history for output, trophies won, blah blah. I think in his pomp and with Trent Alexander-Arnold, like Walker and Rose, what a phenomenal left back this man was. Did I want him coming when we linked in January? No, not really. Didn't see it. And obviously, it's a guy that will be on another 100 grand a week. Did I think at 32 years old he's going to add anything? No, not really. Was I concerned that Juventus were going to hijack it? No, not really. But he's here now. And I am one fan that's always said I want more experienced players in the door. I want to have people that have had the experience that can help nurture the youth, the younger players, blah, blah, blah. Can Robertson do that and add some leadership? Absolutely. It's a 2-year deal, and I hope it's only a 2-year deal. And then De Zerbi can use that time to get in the exact left back he wants. If there's going to be significant change at Spurs, if they bring him in, we can't trust Destiny to stay fit. Sousa isn't ready. Davies is, you would think or imagine, is going or getting moved upstairs. So as much as I don't really, I think he adds a lot more than, and I can understand, like Paulinho for me is the biggest no-brainer. But it's maybe De Zerbi wants a couple of old heads in that can literally been there, seen it, done it, whilst he gets, and it gives him more money. Let's just say he's done it in a way so he gets to spend more money on the front line. If we look back at the end of the window and we have redone that front line and spent big, then going free on Robertson may be a smart move. It's not, look, put it this way, there's a lot of people that are over the moon ecstatic with this signing. I'm not one of them. I can see the reasoning behind it. I still, personally, I wouldn't have gone for it, but he's a Spurs player now. Big up to you, Mr. Jonathan Boyd. There is lots to chat tonight. I've got my second coffee. There's no timeline tonight. There is no timeline. I've got a feeling it could be a good one tonight. So there is. I am doing good, buddy. I hope you and the family are. Like I said, absolutely ecstatic about the job. And do you know the best thing about the job? After sending over 400 resumes out and applications, this all started last Tuesday when we played Chelsea. I got a message on LinkedIn saying, we've seen your profile and your CV, but would you like to have a meeting? Like, yep, sure. They arranged it Friday. Friday, the meeting went really well and said, right, we want you to see the hiring manager tomorrow. Can you do tomorrow? I said, yep. And I thought that this was going to be just a brief or a first of a couple of meetings. At the meeting, she's like, offer me the job on the spot. So for months and months and months of searching, it just took one person to recruit and find me. It's the way it works, but I'm over the moon. Brandon, brother, mate, you've got, mate. Do you know what this sounds like, Brandon? I hope you had a brilliant vacation, by the way, buddy, wherever you were. Whenever back in the day, before you could have beef shop, whenever I went away on a holiday or whatever, whenever I came back, it was catching up on EastEnders and everything like that. Spurs is a soap opera. There's quite a fair bit to catch up on 12 days. Jeremy, big up to you, good sir. I hope you're good and well. South, East, COYS, geezer. Had a beer for you at the Antwerp Arms, bro. First time there. Spurs Stadium was magnificent. I sat in the South Stand. I really hate being, but you're back in Myrtle Beach, buddy. Well, first of all, the Antwerp Arms, I don't mind. It's a great pub. It's a great pub, and it's a much better pub when the sun's out and you can be in the front, out the front on the road or in the little back garden. But it's a beautiful pub. But my pub is always the Coach and Horses, always the Coach and Horses. But I have been in the Antwerp Arms on many occasions. Thank you for having a beer for me. Another thing, tomorrow I am 17 years, 10 months sober. I am very close to my 18 year, which I'm going to celebrate big time. In England, back home, you can legally drink when you're 18. So it sounds very, very weird that the sober me will legally be able to drink. But I'm glad that you had an incredible time. The South Stand was obviously, the stadium was incredible, the atmosphere. And yeah, mate, you're back in Myrtle Beach, but I want to try and get some Americans over next season to all come to Toronto for a weekend and come to a game at the Scotland Yard. Because we're going to try and do, hopefully, with Toronto Spurs, a few of us are going to try and get to America and join some American Spurs fan clubs and get there. It'd be great to get some Americans or people from over the world to come to the Scotland Yard for a game. Big up Hamhead. Big up. The finger guns are ready, buddy. They're always ready. Like the Wild Wild West, mate. Like Will Smith said, hope you're good. Do you know what action would speak louder than words? Get out, leave, sell, or the very best. Look, well, as we said, we'll go through it as the show goes on for sure, Jonathan. But obviously, Charrington came out, which was move one, which was absolute copy and paste ChatGPT bullshit, and just utter nonsense, which we've all heard and read and seen before. Then this morning, the Lewis family pretty much said exactly the same thing, but just reworded it. And then Vinai's done a poxy interview that I haven't even watched most of it, but I've just seen some of the clips, and they're acting like there was absolutely nothing to do with them. Look, you won't find someone that would love to slam Levy all day, every day more than me. And I still believe he's got a lot of blood on his hands. But to now continue to blame him when this season technically wasn't all his fault. It was his fault for all the things that led to where we are now. But he left. He left in September, and not sacking Frank earlier, not backing these things all aren't those things aren't Levy. As much as I hate to say it, those things aren't Levy, but they just continue acting like spoiled little prats, or brats, shall I say, brats, either ones, and just literally take no accountability for themselves. And it's all lip service once again. But Vinai and Lange have to go. Have to. Can Senesi be hijacked? From Clock 360, I believe there could be every chance it could be, but I believe Senesi is another one that will happen. And apparently he's actually a big Spurs guy. So I don't think that gets hijacked. I think Senesi does become a Spurs player. And if you look at it, like we were talking just now with Robertson, we could believe in Ben Davies, Romero, whatever, but let's just take Ben Davies, like We Are Tottenham TV said. If someone has said to you, because he played left centre-back and left-back at times, Davies, if you were going to get rid of him for free, obviously, and you brought in Senesi and Robertson for free, you've covered those positions. Not saying they're the greatest. I think Senesi is a very good player, though. I think people could come in and try and hijack it, but I fully expect Spurs to get that one over the line. Thank you very much indeed, Jonathan. Thank you very much indeed. As I said, I'm going to be a team leader for it's outsourced, so it's not directly Airbnb aren't my employers. A company called Teleperformance are, but they get given the contracts to work on certain projects, and the one that I am going on is Airbnb, and it's going to be a designated team that deal with people from 5 days before their check-in to 5 days after their check-out. So there you go. I'm very much looking forward to it. It's a brand new contract with this company. There is going to be big room for progression. I am delighted with it. And hopefully this will be the start of something big for me and something I can really sink my teeth into. Thank you very much indeed, brother. My brother, James Flat. What are you doing up, brother? What are you doing up, brother? Is today the day you come over to this side of the pond, brother? Don't know if you're still in the chat, but yeah, cheers, brother. We speak via WhatsApp. Liran, big up to you, brother. Big up to you, Aki. I hope you're good and well. Yeah, just send it if you're still here, James, but I'll speak to you directly anyway, brother. Been a long time since we chat. I hope you and the wife and kids are good. I know you warned me against moving to London. I only spent 6 days there, but I genuinely fell in love with the city and especially country. Look, South East COYS, what I will say, there's a lot of people that will say that, and you could go over there and absolutely love it. You could go over there and absolutely love it. But when you live there, the cost of living, obviously the world is going through a whole cost of living thing. It is very, very, very expensive. And people will see England a very, very different way to what I do. And it's all within the way people see it. Obviously, you can go there and spend 6 days. I will say every time I go back to London, every single time without fail, I can't wait to get back to Toronto. But on the day, and this normally happens a few days, a few weeks, or if I'm over there for a long time, a few months before I'm like, I just want to get back to Canada. But every single time I get to the airport and I'm about to go through security or check my bags in, I just think about my niece and nephews, and I go through a 2 to 5 minute thing where I'm like, do I rip my ticket up? Do I want to? Because I can't stand being apart from them. It is the biggest pain for me not being able to be as much in their lives as I always was. But I always get here, and then when I get here, I'm like, oh, thank God. But yeah, listen, mate, that's my opinion. You went there for 6 days. What I would suggest is go back out there for a few more days, or go out there for a couple of weeks. And I would say in the winter, but I can't remember in North Carolina or in Carolina, Myrtle Beach, what the winters are like, and then tell me something different. Dane Dunn, big up to you, brother. This is the biggest no-brainer ever. Barbaric disdain, my brother. I hope you're good and well. Yeah, all is good, brother. I got a job. I'm starting next week. All is good. I hope you and the family are well. We must catch up soon. Express Monaco, good evening to you. I always love when you come in with with your cheeky comments, let's just say. Always big up to you. Thank you so much, buddy. Thank you so much. It's been a long, long time coming, and I'm just delighted to get back into work. I can't wait. Roberto Deserbi from Jonathan says he likes smart people, and smart people learn from their mistakes. Look, what? I think everything the board has said is absolute bullshit. I don't believe a single word of it. If they go and sign a few people early, listen, it's only a Bosman, it's only a free. And don't get me wrong, whether you agree or disagree with the signing of Robertson is neither here. It's all down to De Zerbi. I can't remember the last time we signed someone this quickly. Yes, it's a Bosman and whatever, but Spurs, and that doesn't make me think immediately, oh my God, things are changing. We will need to see a lot of change. If we get him in, and then let's say Savinho comes in before the World Cup or whatever, I personally think Savinho could become a very good player, but we need an established quality electric left winger, not someone that could become someone good. So if we go and get Savinho, I'm not going to, a lot of Spurs fans will go, oh my God, things are changing. No. Wait till the window closes and then we'll see where we are. But Jonathan, I completely agree with you. People, the board have to listen to De Zerbi. Right. Spurs perspective, big up to you. If we get Van Hecker, Verbruggen and Baliba, we are going to sail into the top four. I understand fans being like this and thinking, right now we got De Zerbi and this season's over, we're going to be there. I'm going, no, you've got to remember right now, Liverpool, all these other teams are going to strengthen and they're all in a stronger place than us already. My estimation for next season, and they won't change no matter who we sign, is get back into the top 8 and win the FA Cup. That is, and that's not changing. Even if we have the best summer we've ever had, top 8 and win the FA Cup. That's it. No Europe, 9 teams in England. And by the way, congratulations, Crystal Palace, especially their admin, who had a massive rage bait Palace that showed Forest, that showed Palace the 3 trophies they've won this season, including the Community Shield, the FA Cup, and now the Conference League, and said just like, or in tongue-in-cheek to Marinakis, saying we always win. And now they're back in the cup that they got relegated from because of the shit that Forest argued with. So I'm not going to say we're sailing into top 4, but if that's how you go, fair play to you. And that optimistic, I'm not just there yet. But if we can get it back into the top half and not have to worry about relegation and a serious stab at the FA Cup, will be fantastic. Ian Ferguson, brother, I hope you're good and well. Evening all, very excited for Robertson. Yep. Thank you, Ian. Means a lot, brother. I told you a narrow win versus. Thank you very much, Luis Gomez. Thank you very much. It was a narrow win, and thankfully we got the job done. But thank you. That's Jonathan. I'm with you. I mean, like someone said in the comments, can't remember who it was. It has to make people think that all of a sudden, players that we wanted last season, all of a sudden are wanted again. And I would understand it if De Zerbi played similar football or similar tactics or formation to what Thomas Frank does, or did, shall we say. But he doesn't. He doesn't at all. So it's up in the air for me. If we do sign Savinho, it's another young, like your Odebears, like your Tells, on the wing. We need a proper, experienced, established winger that's already been there and done it and shows that they can do it. And then having a Savinho as an understudy, no problem. He does. This is the thing. His best days are behind him. Liverpool have got rid of him, and they've got Kirkes, and they will go sign another left winger to replace Robertson and spend big money on it because that's what Liverpool do. And they've got leaders. They got Van Dijk. Still, what they do with him or whatever. We need leadership. We need experience. We've said for too long that we just play youth teams and there's no one to help them. He will lend that to it. Do I think his best days are behind him? Yes. Do I think potentially he could still get forward and be on best crosser of football. Yes. Playing one game a week is going to help him, going to help the team. And I think his experience and leadership are qualities we are definitely lacking. So we'll see. Yeah, I know there's a lot of people that do it. I sometimes do it, buddy. Timo Werner, since joining the MLS, 7 games, 4 goals and 3 assists. Get him in. Mate, I think that's more goals than he scored for Spurs. I think that's what team did he join? What MLS team did he join? I can't even remember. So we can get those, but if we don't bring in some... this is a very good point as well. And do you know what? If you look at it, this is why I was saying like why I want Kinski to be number 1 next season. Because if you look at that defence, put Robertson there already in Destiny, and let's put Souza. But then you got Van der Ven, who I think will stay and sign a new contract. Vuskovic, we don't know. Romero, we don't know. There could be Sensi, Danso. Then you got Porro, Spence. That defence may not be superb, like dynamite quality, but that defence, and then you go through the midfield, is in a lot better shape than what the strike force is. For me, just like Manchester United did last season when they went, right, our main problems are scoring goals and conceding goals, and they went bang, 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 Cunha, and Buemo and Sesko, and then bought the goalkeeper. I think it's done very well for them. That's what we need to do, but we need to do it with our front line. We need to go left wing, right wing for competition for Kudus, and definitely 2 forwards. So I think we need to spend a huge chunk of change on the forward line as the major thing we need. We've seen the last 2 years our goal scoring, especially when you come from Kane and Son, has been absolutely atrocious. Robertson was our first signing. Yeah, Eric, big up to you, buddy. Like I was saying at the beginning, obviously I don't know if you were here at the beginning. When this was rumoured in January, I wasn't very keen on the deal. I think Robertson has been the second best left back in Premier League history. I think he's a wonderful player. But obviously he's 32 now. He's going to be on a big wage. And I was against it for those kind of reasons. But when I start thinking about it as in the experience, the leadership, it gives cover so Spurs can try and identify the left back to succeed. Because I think Destiny will continue getting injured. It makes sense. The deal makes sense for what we're lacking in experience and leadership. And if we then use this wisely, like Senesi on a free, to go really pump money into that forward line, it could be a very, very, very good bit of business. But Spurs being Spurs and always leaving things short, it could be, well, why did we address this area when we didn't address the striker area, which is the massive key thing? So it will be judged. I think if you're looking for a guy to bring leadership, if you're looking for a guy to bring experience, not just about how to conduct yourself, but winning the big honours, seeing games through, the dark arts, then he brings a lot to the table. For his actual footballing attributes, do I think he's past his best? Yes. But I think his mental attributes and experience and leadership is what we're getting more than the actual footballer. Mate, I'd love, mate, if you could get down here, brother, or up here, should we say, up here, it would be sensational, brother. It would be. And I tell you what, if we could do it, and my wife is a Jets fan as well, if we could try and arrange it when a day the Jets are playing, after the Spurs game, we'll have a Jets and or an American football and football day together. Yeah, exactly. The experience and leadership he brings is a lot more than what we've got. A lot more than what we've got. Would be pretty cool to do a pre-game live stream before the game at the pub and do a half. So I have been speaking. I'm going to be speaking in the summer with the guys at the Scotland Yard because they know how much attention I bring to the Scotland Yard via social media, YouTube. They even tell me the amount of times they've come in, like during the week, even when Spurs aren't playing, they're going, "Is this the Spurs pub?" And they're like, yeah. And they go, "How do you know about this?" "Oh, there's a guy on YouTube. Do you know him?" They go, "What, Brian?" Blah, blah, blah. So they always look after me. And I said to them, "Listen, I'd love to do something along these lines." Now, I can't. It's very hard to do it pre-game, because pre-game, they've got music on and it gets done for copyright. If the football commentary's on, it gets done for copyright. But there's an area there called the library where we're going to try and sort out on certain games where they turn all the music off in that part of the pub, which is a little cul-de-sac kind of thing, where I will be able to do things. And I might be doing a once a month or once every 2 week podcast from the Scotland Yard during the week, talking about all stuff in the Scotland Yard and getting Toronto Spurs people involved, or anyone who's in Toronto that watches the shows to come in and just sit and chill on free food from the Scotland Yard. So there are ideas afoot. Just please God, lounge out the door. It needs to be done. And I hope it's Dougie Freeman we get him. I don't want that Kel from Germany. I want Dougie Freeman. I especially want Dougie Freeman because I think he's very, very good at his job. Very good at his job. But also, before I was allowed to go to Tottenham with just my mates and not my family and get public transport, my parents always used to let me go to Barnet Football Club, which is where Dougie made his name. So I've got a very big soft spot for him. What do you think of this transfer window this summer? Southeast COYS, brother, are you saying what do I think of this as in that is our window? The players you've mentioned? Or what do I think this transfer window is going to bring? Because if we're looking at this one, I think Van Hecker is a very big possibility, but only because of the De Zerbi links. And it also depends if we get in Senesi and if Romero stays, whether we want him to stay or not. If he does stay, are we going to go get a Van Hecker? A Locatelli I'd love. A Savinho I would like, but I'd want another more established player to come in to be ahead of him. And Osimhen is not happening in a million years. Spurs, they talk about Spurs smashing their wage structure. They'd have to smash their wage structure that they're thinking of and then smash it again a few times to pay what he wants. Van Hecker, Senesi, oh my good God. Right. now we're going. So Senesi, Wharton, I love Adam Wharton. I love him. I still can't believe that Jordan Henderson's in the England World Cup squad, KG N17 over Adam Wharton. Fernandez, if that's the former Southampton West Ham player, I do like the look of him. But I think we need better. Ilian Ndiaye, I love that player. I would love that player. I've seen loads of people talking about this guy from Benfica. I don't know a lot about him, but I have heard big things about him. So if it was to be him, fair play. A quality striker is the biggest thing for me. And I would, if we can get this keeper, like you say, the Benfica one, if there's a real quality goalkeeper that Spurs can get their hands on, then Spurs have to try and get it done. But I think it is more important for us to get a quality striker and left winger than it is a goalkeeper right now. I don't know what you guys think, but for me, the striker and left winger are the massive areas that need addressing immediately and big money spent on them. No worries, Chip. Better late than never, mate. Better. And that's security. What a name. I've got security in here. We've got new security in here. He does dance into the chart. He does dance into the chat. Big up to you, security 848. Love seeing new names come in. Van Hecker is a Romero. If we then say our defence, let's just say Vuskovic goes out on loan again. Phillips goes out on loan again, or is sold, which I hope Phillips is not sold. And Takai is whatever he is. If we had Van Hecker, Senesi, Danso and Van der Ven, that is a solid 4 div centre-backs to be able to rotate and choose from. That would be a big, big statement. The idea that we could some crucial areas addressed early in the window. Yeah. I mean, again, for me, the crucial areas are left winger and striker. That is the crucial areas. The others is just obviously building, but I think the left winger and striker are the number one issues. Mashana Joe, my brother. I hope you are good, geezer. Congratulations, Mr. Daigle. Surviving last day shenanigans is not for everyone. It was quite uneventful, actually. You should thank Moyes. Look, I will thank Moyes. I will thank Everton, but I will thank people like Paulinia, Kinski for that save at the end. Not that it would have made a huge difference because we would have got the draw. That would have been good enough. But yeah, mate, I never want to be in that position again. I never, ever, not just me, Spurs fans, no matter how you think of this football club or no Spurs fan should ever have to go through what we went through. And you know what? I feel I learned something new in football this season. Last season we were down there, but obviously the 3 teams on the bottom, there was too big a gap and it was never a danger. But I learned this season what it is like to be a relegation threatened team. And I'll tell you what, I remember under Pete Poch when we were going for the 2 seasons for the title. I remember the Conte season when we were chasing the filth down for the top 4 spot. Obviously, you had the big game nerves for those games because you're trying to reach the pinnacle. That was easy street stress compared to what we went through. I feel sorry for any relegation team or the fans that have to go through that. That was horrific, and I never, ever, ever want to witness that again, or my nephews and niece ever have to go through that again. It was horrific. Cheers, brother. Cheers, brother. It means a lot to me. To say I did the doubting for you, brother. They know, big time. I was stressing big time. Big time. What do you think of Luka? I've got no problem with Luka. Well, I say that. I've got no problem with Luka Vuskovic going back on loan once he signed a massive long-term extension to his contract. And depending if we do get Senesi and let's say a Van Hecker, it gives him another season's growth. And then he comes back in and he will be a Tottenham player. Every season he's got better and better and better. If we sign Senesi, if we let Romero go and we sign another centre-back like a Van Hecker, going on loan for me is no problem. Do I want to see him in a Spurs shirt badly? Absolutely. But if he signs a new long-term extension to his contract and we bump his wages up, then I haven't got a problem with it. But I'd love to see him in a Spurs shop. Manu was able to flip team with yeah, exactly. Chef up Norman, big up to you. Why not us? The board. That's why. Oh, I didn't even realise we had a super chat. Thank you, One Seba A. Big up to you. Johnson again, ole. Daigle away, ole. Mate, thank you for the super chat. Yep, Johnson has won 2 European trophies in 12 months. Fair play to him. I don't think he hardly played in any of them. I don't think he played in her, but anyway, he's gone and got a trophy. Fair play to him. And fair play to Crystal Palace. Yeah, fair play to them. And fair play to what Glaston's done. They've never won a major trophy. And now they won an FA Cup and a European trophy in the space of 12 months. So fair play to them. Inic out, Lange out, Vinai out. Sorry, they are all full of shit. Expertly said, mate. Expertly said. Completely agree. How do you, so the, I confess that I don't watch a lot of I don't watch as much football as I used to do, especially European football. Mainly because obviously I spend my time with my wife, and I watch. She knows Premier League I'm going to be watching, but I've not just this season, last season as well. The whole bad officiating and everything. I have lost a lot of love for football because of VAR and the joy it's taken out of the game. So I haven't really been watching a lot, so I can't really comment on him. But I know my brother Ben from We Are Tottenham TV rates him highly. So that's I'll go by what he says. If Thomas was a train, Roberto HERE is a bulldozer. Yeah, let's hope so. Let's bloody well hope so. Spurs have got to listen to him, Jonathan. Spurs have got to listen to him. He's in a very, very, very strong position. A very strong position. So let's just hope he has the power and he gets to use it. Barcola would be fantastic. I can't see it happening, though. I can't see it happening. Oh, wait a minute. I always get mixed up with this player's name. Barcola. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't mind him. He's one I wouldn't mind. San Jose, thank you. That's where. There we go. San Jose. Yep. There we go. Oh, Mr. Brazil, psycho teacher, who I have nicknamed Wonderful Teacher Spurs, because he is one of the kindest men you could ever wish to meet. One of the most polite. One of the guys that when this guy smiles, the whole world becomes a brighter place. This guy I love and have so much respect for. Big up to you and your family, my man. Mate, do you know what? With what we have right now, I'd take him all day long on a free. I'd take him all day long on a free. But it won't happen. But and mate, what about Anthony Gordon? Anthony Gordon, here we go to Barcelona. It was all saying about Bayern Munich. 75 million he's gone for, and they're letting Marcus Rashford go back to United. Thierry Henry is apparently fuming with, but I don't know if it's AI and they put words in his mouth, but Anthony Gordon, who would have thought Anthony Gordon going to Barcelona would be on your bingo card this year? Chop cheese. I always love when I see this name. Big up, Brian, you absolute legend. I think Savinho is a quality player. His numbers are skewed at City due to minutes and low blocks. I could see him flying, playing the Tottenham way out. Do you know what? You could be right. You could be right. I just think at the moment, under the derby, in all honesty, I can't wait to see Kudus under the derby. I literally can't wait because we know how good he was, but there was so much put on him under Frank and overplay, whatever. So you could be bang on the money, Chop Cheese. You could be bang on the money. But I think we've been so since Sonny. I go back to the left wing and I think of people like Bale and Ginola. And Sonny was more a left winger that cut inside, scored goals. Bale was near the end. But when I think of left wingers, I think Chris Waddle, I think Ginola, I think Bale, where they just used to run the fullbacks ragged and get him phenomenal crosses. Maybe this could be the one, but I want to see a winger like that. Vlahovic, I'll take a punt on him. I would take a punt on him right now because of what we got. Honestly, he can't come in and do worse than Romero, Solanke or Richarlison. So first of all, we've got to get them out as well. I don't know how easy it's going to be to get them out. Spurs and Jet, mate. I could say if it was the Saints, I could say the same. If there's a date, mate, we'll have to check it. If there's a day the Saints play the Jets and it's a weekend Spurs are obviously playing, then we're going to have to talk, Curly. Then we're going to have to talk, brother. What strikers are out there to bring more goals? Yeah, this is the $64 million question, Jonathan. And also, you got to remember, in a World Cup year, if we're looking at any strikers, just like the rest of the world, not just Tottenham, if you're looking at a striker and he has a blinding World Cup from whatever nation, their price rockets up. You could be looking at a striker and he has a miserable World Cup. So it's strikers. You know what? If you look at it right now, back in the day, I remember at times there was always strikers you could get. Yes, they were going to cost money, whatever. The striker market, and do you know why I think it is? Because back in the day when you used to play a 4-4-2 or with two forwards, it was always a strike partnership. So there's always a couple of strikers in each team where they would grab the attention. There are so many teams now that just play with one up top that I think it's absolutely collapsed the striker market. I think it's had a massive impact in the amount of strikers that are about because so many teams now only play with one up top. Don't know if you guys agree with me or think at the moment it's just a dry patch of strikers, but I think it's had a major impact. Big up, Janine back. A couple of frees that improve us and gives us room to breathe on spending. This is where I'm at. I'm exactly where you are, Jim Black, as well. Completely. Somehow the Victor someone the Victor Gyökeres would do us nicely. Yeah, I mean, I really wanted Victor Gyökeres the year we signed Solanke. He was amongst the goals for Arsenal. A lot of them were penalties. He had a horrific time the middle of the season. Now he's settled. I think next season he could be a big problem. He could be. He might not be. But we shall soon see. The spelling may have been wrong, buddy, but I know I've seen the name spelled so many times in so many ways. It's easy to see. Then a Solanke, yeah, we definitely need Solanke gone. We can't risk it. Oh mate, yep, the sloping pitch at Underhill. They've left Underhill now. They're now playing in Edgware, but they're trying to bring them back to Barnet. But that sloping pitch, my God, I had many a great day at Barnet Football Club. What's that? About to Steve, one sec. No, I'm not. I hate it when that happens. It's going to come soon. It's going to come soon. But yeah, the sloping pitch, buddy, legendary. It's the same. Yep, it's the same old, same. Look, I'm with you. I am with you. We need a winger too. I 100% agree with you. Big up to you. We are Spurs TV. We desperately need a winger. We desperately need a winger. Dyer's been getting used out of position by Moyes. You haven't seen the best of him. No, I mean, that little run he went on in the first half where he almost went through us like a knife through hot butter. A hot knife through butter was incredible. I think on his day, he's unplayable. If we could get him, I would be over the goddamn moon. But it's going to take big money. And especially with one game a week. Exactly. Lord Dago, is the rumour true? You are now. It is true. It is true. Yesterday, I officially got the Here We Go. I've got a orientation day and just going in to see the office and get the login credentials and everything on Friday. But I officially start work Monday. And I can't believe it. When I say it's Monday, we're in bloody June. I can't believe we're going to be in bloody June come Monday. This year is just absolutely, well, they all fly by, don't they? Big up, Yossi. Hope you're good and well, buddy. New start after a lucky escape from now on. It's only up and up. Big up, Brian from Sydney, Australia. Big up to you, buddy. I did see you sent me a voice note. It's just been a crazy time over the last few days, but I will get back to you, buddy. I will get back to you. I hope everything is good in Sydney, my man. Nothing like mate, I don't even know if it was the adrenaline pumping. I don't know. That weren't adrenaline. I can tell you one thing. I've never, and I remember in the 90s a couple of times, obviously I was a lot younger. Excuse me, Jesus Christ. I can remember having a few, obviously I was younger and I wasn't as, obviously I was a major Spurs fan and everything, but that was before going to pubs, going to the games, whatever, like regularly. But yeah, what we have just been through isn't adrenaline. Definitely isn't bloody adrenaline, mate. It was the anti-adrenaline, but I never want to experience it again. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is it possible that the only injured players we have in August will be Xavi and Odebert? And well, Kulu still isn't officially back. He's running, but Jonathan, never ever say that as a Spurs fan, especially until this medical team have been ripped to bits and reassembled, because you never know what could happen between now and August. You never ever know. He is indeed. What's his name? Mr. James Bauer, he's opening a house of ill repute in Norwich. Oh dear. Have there ever been any brothers that play for Spurs? Well, that's a great question. I know there's been cousins with obviously the Allens. Has there ever been brothers? You know what? I don't know what I can't recall it. Have Tottenham Hotspur ever had brothers playing in the same team? Let's have a look. Oh, duh. Well, not the first one, duh. We've got this. The first one I never knew of, and I don't think a lot of people will be. We had the Steele brothers, Danny, Bobby, and Alex, in January 1910. So a little bit before my time, but obviously we did have twins. I don't know if they're still both there. We have the twins, Michael and Matthew Craig, the twins. I don't know if they are still there. I think they are. So yeah, Michael and Matt, but they haven't made it into the first team yet. But yes, Smashing the Joe, the 1910 teams that we were all familiar with. But that was a great question. That was a great question. Only Archie Gray. Oh. Mate, it's insane. It's insane. Jonathan, again, another session at Rangers for Mikey Moore will be great too. Yeah, look, we spoke about this yesterday on Tottenham Tour during the day show. Mikey Moore, if he does go back out on loan, I hope it is to Rangers. I know there are fans that go, no, he's done it in Scotland. I want to see him progress. I want to see him do more. I agree and would love that to happen, but I'm looking at Jamie Donnelly, who League One, Leyton Orient, absolutely smashed it and was getting all the applauds. All the plaudits, all the praise. Oh my God, he's going to be such a star. Spurs then tried to elevate him and go to a championship team. Obviously, disaster at Stoke with the manager, with not getting selected. Went to Oxford, didn't really do much, and he's gone back in his development. Whereas Mikey Moore could go somewhere else and could progress, but he could do that. He could have the same as what happened with Donnelly. If he goes back to Rangers, he's going back where he's going to play regularly. He's at a place he knows and loves, and the manager loves him. The fans love him, and he'll get regular football and progress. So I want to see him back at Rangers. But we'll see what De Zerbi thinks. Gordon, mate, it's Barcelona, who for the last few years haven't been able to register players because of their lack of money, have all of a sudden found £75 million to be able to buy Anthony Gordon. It blows my mind. Mate, you know how much I love you. Always, brother. It helps that he wants to go to... Yup. If we're talking about Senesi, Tony, do you know what? Ivan Toney, I said in January I would have loved to have got him under Frank. Obviously, Frank would have been gone, but Ivan Toney scores goals wherever he goes. And yes, he's doing it in the Saudi League and blah, blah, blah. He's on a massive, massive wage. But I want Spurs to go big on a striker. If Spurs got rid of Solanke and Richarlison and brought in a striker and Toney, I'll be over the moon. I don't want Ivan Toney to be like, here you go, here's Spurs' main striker. I want Spurs to sign a striker, and the Premier League and Euro go. Spurs have got a goal scorer. Spurs have got a threat that could be a problem for a few years. It's what I'd love us to do. The best pronunciation of Vlahovic I've heard from a non. Mate, do you know what, Messenger? The reason I know how to say Vlahovic so well now is when we were actually going, or when we actually were heavily linked with him when he went to Juventus. I wanted him so badly. Until he said he wanted more money than Harry Kane, and I was like, off you go. You don't come into this football club and demand more than Harry Kane at that age. And I couldn't say I can't even remember what I was saying as his name. So I got told on numerous occasions, and now I've got it just in time. So it's always appreciated to hear from a native that the pronunciation is good. Always good to hear that. I know he is a kid, but a guy who I think could be beneficial is Imala from I don't know anything about him, buddy, so I'll take your word on it. Do you know what? A lot of names. Do you know what? I think we'll do a show next week. In fact, we will do a show next week, depending. Actually, no. We will do a show next week, and we're going to do it, and I'm going to put it in the title, that the scout report or something, and all of you come in, and we'll start looking at these players and going into the stats and whatever. I can't play videos because I'll get the copyright right, but we'll have a look at these players. But we'll do one designated just for bringing up these players and credentials that we can see. Who are the top three? Oh, mate, the top three. There are so many. Oh, Jesus. It depends how you want to do it. The top three players you want out the door financially, is in which will bring the biggest money in. The top three players that you can't stand and just want out the door, regardless of age, position, blah, blah, blah. I would say Romero, Vicario. So, mate, I'll go Solanke and Richarlison. I'll go four. Those are the big ones I've won out. I wonder what other people would say. Oh, mate, it was as old school as you could get. And the very first place I ever had Bovril. And people in the UK that go to football, whether it be non-league or Premier League or whatever league you go to, if you go see a local team, in the winter, there is nothing better at football than a boiling hot cup of Bovril to warm you up. Oh, mate, it became my way of life. I love water meter as well, anonymously. Honey, what a name. I think that's a new name as well, I think. Everyone, there's new names all over the shop. There's 62 of you in there. I'm going to ask you for the only time today until I wrap up at the end. If you could smash a like, just very simply hit that like button. It'd mean the world to me and the channel as we try to get this channel back up and amongst the big boys. And we're aiming to get back up to 11,000 subs. We lost a lot of subs during my absence of the 7 weeks. But if you could just hit the like and subscribe if you haven't, it would be absolutely phenomenal. And I would really appreciate it, as would Ben Kaufman. What do you think of Ashley Phillips? Okay, so I'm a massive. Is that enough massives? Or let's just put one more massive fan of Ashley Phillips. And when we signed him, I went and put a tweet out and I said the year is 2029 or 2020 something, and Ashley Phillips is leading Spurs out as captain. And you know the weirdest thing? I mentioned this today on the Kaufman's channel. Toronto is such a melting pot of people of religions, race, sexual, just such a melting and diverse city. But the thing that makes me laugh is obviously I've lived in London and in most of my life, apart from the 8.5 years I've lived here, the 4 years I lived in Israel. Apart from that, the rest of my life, and I'll be 47 next month, been in England. I had never, ever in my life in England met a person face-to-face, had a discussion and chat with a Crystal Palace fan. Obviously seen Crystal Palace fans when I've gone to Spurs Crystal Palace games, home and away. Never, ever in my life met a Crystal Palace fan. I've met 2 here in Toronto. Never, ever, ever had I met a Millwall fan in the UK. Last week when we lost to Chelsea, there was the Hull Millwall game on the playoffs, and they were showing it on the quieter side of the Scotland yard because they were in the playoffs. And a couple of Millwall fans. Never, ever in my life met a Millwall fan. Now, the reason I'm saying all this is one of my wife's best mates is actually now engaged to a Blackburn Rovers fan. Unbelievably, I've never met a Blackburn Rovers fan in my life before coming to Toronto. And we got pretty close, and he is diehard Blackburn. And he used to say, we've got a defender coming through, a unit of a man, and he's just a kid. He's going to be something special. Ashley Phillips. And now Ashley Phillips didn't play many first-team games, but they're saying in the youth team. So I was like, oh, okay. So I always knew the name. And then when we signed him, I was pissed off because, not pissed off, it got, the first bid got rejected, but we so badly needed to focus on the first team that I was pissed off that Spurs, again, were going for young, rather than addressing the issues, but really wanted Ashley Phillips, but wanted to get ready for the first team first. And then, but when we signed him, I was delighted. He has done extremely well at Plymouth, and both his years at Stoke, he's been fantastic. I think he is a real defender in the making and an England international. I go nuts about 2 Spurs youngsters, and it's Alfie Devine and Ashley Phillips. Alfie Devine, for me, way clear of Ashley Phillips. I would want to see Ashley Phillips, if he's not at Spurs this season, get a Premier League loan, or he's been at Stoke and Plymouth, or a loan at a team challenging for the Championship title. He's at the age. I think I want big things. I believe big things for Ashley Phillips. Hopefully in a Spurs shirt. The Craig twins, exact name. The name's Charlad. Well said. Mario and Luca, the Superskovic brothers. Oh, do. You got to love that music, mate. You'll never hear me ever say anything against this. I really, there's big talk. Preston are really going to try and get him. If they do take him, I will take it hard. I will be furious. But I'll be very, very happy if he goes to Preston, because Preston treated him well. The fans love him. And I will just hope that there is a buyback clause. So I've said it. If he ain't at Spurs and we sell him, within 3 years, he'll be back in a big Premier League team. Such is my faith and belief in Alfie. But I hope you're good, Joey. Brody. So was local lad from Edmonton. Livermore related to the notorious Livermore brothers gang from the... Big up to you, buddy. Yeah, Edmonton, right near Tottenham. One of my obviously Ilana, my wife, Sarah, my ex-girlfriend was in Edmonton. I spent a lot of time in Edmonton because I was going out for her. But yeah, mate, naughty characters there. We have just got another super chat in from my man, Michael Hellman. Big up to you, buddy. Roberto De Zerbi said 10 to 12 players are good. I think only 5 or 6 are worth keeping. Clear house. Michael, thank you very much indeed for the super chat, brother, and thank you for your continuous support as always, which I deeply, deeply appreciate it. What I will say with this, well, look, we can all have this discussion and thought about how many are clear house. What you got to remember is De Zerbi will know what he wants to do. If he's saying 10 to 12, then I think now that the season's done, the De Zerbi we had going, yeah, everything's brilliant, the players are great, blah, 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 blah. And the schmoozing and the positivity and not upsetting, I think those days are gone. And now De Zerbi will be clearing house and doing shit. And I think even he realises the task at hand is so fucking big that it can't be done as quickly and as mad as possible. I would say I'd say more than 5 to 6, but that's your opinion. But I think there needs to be a lot of work done, and I think a few windows. If and I'm only saying this, I've stepped into a parallel universe. If Spurs are going to do this correctly, if Spurs are going to chuck money, and like I said, this is a parallel universe. This is not the Daigle you know. This is the I've just stepped into a sliding doors moment and got on the other door. There's a lot of work that's going to be chucked at it, but I do understand where you're coming from, brother. Oh, mate, I haven't seen you for ages. Merovingian, I can never say that name right. Merovingian, 1882. I'm just saying Miro 1882, so I don't butcher it. But always good to see you, brother. FIFA and UEFA really messed up the Euro comps. They weakened the UCL, the Europa League, and created the Conference League. If Arsenal win the UEFA Champions League, it's an English Queen's. It is, buddy. But yeah, I mean, the Conference League, Europa, FIFA and UEFA are menaces to society, brother. They really, really are. They need to cap the amount of overseas players. Yeah, I think it's. I remember back in the day, like growing up, where you could only have like 3 or 4 European or non-British players. A lot of this money is obviously now there's teams with hardly any English players or British, whatever. I think something does need to be done with it. But it's all about the money now, isn't it? Spain is suffering, France, Germany, especially. Yup. I think it's so far gone now. That it's going to be hard to rein it in. Mate, 3. So you're saying it would take 3 to 4 consistent transfer windows. I've said it would take 3 to 5 years. So what am I looking at? If I'm saying 3, I'm saying 6 to 10. Because you can do it over 3, 4. Let's see them do it. Let's just see. If they can do it over 2, it will be a mass improvement. Doesn't mean everything's changed, but it would take longer for me, George. But fair play. Yeah, the good old 1910 team. How could no one remember the 1910 teams? Big up. Stay big up to you, buddy. 40 likes. Yeah, let's get this. I don't know what the likes are on now, but thank you for thank you for the likes for doing that. I really appreciate it. Funny that before Chelsea got money, yeah, mate. Do you know what? That is a very, very good point. Although I can't really fall into that category, mainly because my next door neighbour's son, they're my dad's age, or no, between me and my dad. So between 47 and 73, he was a Chelsea fan, but he would probably be. Would he be the only Chelsea fan I knew? I think he might have been. But you raise a very, very good point. At this point, after seeing Richarlison Solanke, mate, do you know what? And I have to say, when it comes to him, he did very, very well in the Championship. He did exceptionally well in the Championship. To score, I think it was 13, 14 goals in the Championship for a relegated team is an incredible feat. But I don't know if any of you guys, ladies and gentlemen, saw the video. I think it's on Twitter. I don't know if it was officially from Spurs or one of the big Spurs accounts did it. He's already back at the training ground, getting ready for next season. Mate, that guy is a tank. He is a unit. I do expect big things from him. I do expect him to go on to do great things, whether it be at Spurs, and I hope it is. But if we can get a couple of great strikers in for this guy to learn under, but he is looking like, mate. I would hope we can get. I would hope we can get him in and do well. I think there's a good player there. Every so often, I'll turn into a championship match. West Ham away to Millwall. Oh, mate, it will be. And I have to say, Charlton are already rubbing it in with West Ham. They put a tweet out saying the last 6 times West Ham have come to the Valley, we've hit 19 goals past them. So they're getting rage baited all over the place. That was the Mario tune, weren't it? Do 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 do. I want to play the Mario music, but I'll get copyright. I'm sure it was. Citrus Ball, my brother. I am great. How are you? How are you, geezer? Again, I don't know this guy, Alexander. I don't know this guy at all. So I can't say the last part was right, but the start. Okay, so I've got the last part right. Okay, that's all good. That's all good. That's all that matters, buddy. I must admit, I must have said Miro 1882. If I had known, but this is what happens with Late Night Lilywhite, that I would actually need to start singing the Mario theme tune. I would have done my research. But you never know where it's going. Celery agent, my brother, all the way in Oz. I hope you are good, geezer. I hope you are good. Should we keep Solomon until January, until Odeberg's back? Right. So, this is obviously a very, very controversial subject for obvious reasons, which we won't speak about in this channel. Not just because I'm Jewish and whatever, and so is Ben. And this is the one thing I will say about this. I've got a lot of Muslim friends, and we all said when this conflict started on the 7th of October, 2023, whatever happens, we're not going to let this ruin our friendship. This has got nothing to do with us. I have purposely made sure I do not speak about the conflict on social media, on YouTube, or anything. And I'm not saying 360 that this is on you or anything at all. I won't discuss anything because I don't believe football and politics mix. I am Jewish. I have a lot of Muslim friends, a lot of Muslim people that I consider family, and it's just a subject, obviously, we won't talk about because of everything that goes along with it. But getting back to the point with Solomon now, I think Solomon could have had a huge part to play if we'd kept him this season. He's left Spurs, got on a few loans, and hardly got injured. I don't want to be in a position where if we come back to the end of this window and Manor Solomon is there as a number one winger or backup, then it shows we have fucked up once again. Nothing against Solomon or anything. We need to be doing better. If he'd stayed here this season, I'd have had no problems with, and I would have thought he would have done well, but yeah, I think the time is done, and we need better. When we've gone to, we knew Sonny was going this season, obviously, but we should have had a left winger ready, not an Odebear, not a solid. There should have been, to replace a person of some stature, a player of real quality. I think just cut losses, and get some cash for him and be done with it. Big up, Jack, brother. Okay, I'm glad you said that, because you've asked, Curly's asked, and someone else has emailed me. WhatsApp me about this. Now, we do have a Tottenham on Tour merch website, but because when I went on my break and everything after in February, we have to pay a yearly fee to keep it going, and I completely forgot it expired. So we need to get that back up and running. Once we do, then I will be able to provide the link to people to be able to get their Tottenham on Tour merch. So I will get that link to you, Jack, brother, and to Curly if he's still in it. Curly is in the chat because he's a couple of links down. once that's up and running, I will get the links out because a lot of people have been asking recently. It's like I've worn this shirt on purpose. Who would have thought it? Or could it be that the weather's getting beautiful here now and the day of long sleeve tops and whatever for bed are a thing of the past, thank God, till at least November, December. Enid loves a recursive rebuild for a rebuild. Yup. It's their mantra, isn't it, brother? It is their mantra. Yep, there you go, Jonathan. There you go. Guys, thank you for all wanting to support the channel and get yourself. Once I have sorted that out and we've got the shop back up and running, with the greatest of pleasure, I'll drop the link and you guys can shop till your heart's content. Pepper. Oh, that's a very good. I see what you did there. Peppa Pig up front as a false swine. Very, very good. Very, very good. Thanks for the shout out. By the way, I do hope you're well and good. Cheers, brother. Do you know what? Like I said, my health has been up and down the last couple of years with quite a few issues and mental health being an issue as well. And then obviously not being able to work or not being able to get a job when I could work. But thankfully, I've been employed. The summer is here and I love summertime. And life is going to start picking up. But always good to see you, brother. Always good. Mate, it's always good to be in a good mood. And you know what? That break that I took from YouTube and social media that I thought was going to be until Enoch left. But after Tudor got sacked, I just couldn't keep quiet anymore. I've come back refreshed. I've come back more relaxed. I don't let shit get to me. I don't do as many streams. But I am going to make sure, like I said, the one show that I missed more than anything during that break is the show we are currently doing, Late Night Lilywhite, because I love this show and the crowd we get in. I keep speaking to it, even when I speak to Ben and Sim, and they're like, "Oh, you're not doing a lot of stuff during the day or whatever." I'm like, "Yeah, because during the day, the time zones, and then the competition with all the rival channels, everything." I said, "Do you know what? I prefer doing this show because all we do is we have a chill, relaxed. I'm sure you guys watch a lot of other shows and a lot of other channels, which is great and fair play. But as you guys know, whenever you guys come into this chat, there is never, ever any trouble. It is just a chilled, relaxed, great community that we're building. We cover all aspects, and it is just a great, great show. And whenever I come onto this show, I just look forward to seeing new people as well as the regular people, and just know that the show is going to be a lot of fun and just growing. So thank you, buddy. Peppa Pig will score goals. Yep. Well, put it this way, I'd rather have Peppa Pig up front than Solanke. I think Peppa Pig would be available more often. Big up DJ Mike Null. Big up from Washington DC. Do you know what? I don't know why, and I don't mean this in the back. When it comes to America, there's not been a load of. When I was a kid growing up, I see Disneyland, blah blah blah. When I think of America, I want to go to New Orleans so I can watch the Saints. I've done Vegas. Obviously, I'll do California because it's California. But there are places that I want to do Seattle only because I'm a massive, massive fan of Fraser, which would be the main thing. But always Washington, D.C. is a place I wanted to visit. Always. Maybe it's because of the White House or whatever. But there's always been certain places with America that, like New York, as much as New York is the city or whatever, it don't really. Yes, I'd like to visit there sometime, but it's not up there. Like the number one place I want to go to in America is New Orleans, and solely so I can go see the Saints. Michael, I have a crazy idea. We should sign players and play them in the position there. So, what is this sorcery, Michael? What is this nonsense? What is this witchcraft you are talking about? What are you going on about? Surely that's not the right way to do things. Surely you scout players that play really, really well in a designated position that you're looking for. You sign them and then say, right, you're really, really good at this position, but now we want to see what you can do in every other position apart from the reason we signed you. Michael, what nonsense? What nonsense? How can anyone? I'm trying to keep a straight face while saying this. It would be a godsend if Spurs could finally do this, wouldn't it? It is a crazy idea. Maybe we should say this to the Spurs board, or maybe De Zerbi is actually saying that for us. Mate, J-Pax, never apologise for being late, mate. Never apologise for being late. It's just good to see you here, brother. That's all that matters. J-Boy, big up. We really need to look more into the academy. If it's true with Alfie, it's yeah. Look, Joey, we've seen from the we've seen from the videos from Vinai and the statements that they want to invest in the youth academy and create pathways for the youth team. Well, we've heard this before. They've done it. We have they bigged it up as this world-class academy that's going to develop world-class talent, and it has failed to deliver. And the players that they have had a bright future, they've just sent them out on loan, and we haven't been able to sell them for big money, like a Chelsea, a United, a Man City with Cole Palmer. They need to start doing things. And Alfie Divine going, honestly, for me, I've already started creating tweets ready to go saying, please respect me and my privacy during this time whilst I'm in mourning. And I'm going to get the Tottenham on tour flag at half-mast. I will be devastated. And I mean truly, truly devastated if we let go of Alfie Divine, especially for 4.5 million, which will show another reason why Johan Lang and Vinai aren't fit for purpose. But yeah, Sullivan isn't good enough. Mikey Moore needs another loan. Yeah, I understand. But like I said, we will not do it on this channel. I will not even do it on my social media. What that is something completely different. That this football is football, politics is politics, and we will separate the two. But I know your support, Mash and Joe. I do indeed. Oda Bear, Till and Solomon are not. Michael, do you know what? Even if you merge all three of them together and morph them like a Power Ranger, they still wouldn't be good enough. That's how we've. That's how bad. That's how bad we've been with the wingers. Here we go. I like the Robertson deal. I like the Robertson move, by the way, because he is a man. He's a man and a man that takes no shit and will call play. This I completely agree with. This I completely see. This part, as we were saying, I don't know if you were here at the beginning, Miro, when we were discussing this, or a little bit later when we were discussing it. I completely agree with all of the mental attributes and experience and knowledge and leadership and everything he's going to bring. It's something we're desperately lacking. We are desperately lacking quality at the left back as well, as in footballing wise, not just mental attribute wise. Does Andy Robertson bring that? Compared to what we've got, he does bring a bit of quality. But could we have got better? Yes. But could we have got better for the mental attributes? I don't think we could have. I honestly don't think we could have. So I'm very, very pro it. I'm very, very pro the Robertson signing for the mental attributes and the experience and leadership and yada, yada, yada. For the footballing part and age part and wage part, not so much. But he's a Spurs player now. And I will say, like I said before, to me, he's the second best left back in the Premier League history, bar none. Or obviously bar Ashley Cole, unfortunately. People were loving your full swine there, Curly. I will let you know when it's back. Defo saw that, and mate, Joe, it's great to hear that you guys wanted to support us in that way. It's always good to hear. Why don't we have a proper anthem? Why don't who have a proper anthem, Howard? If you're talking Spurs, the Spurs tunes that have gone on for ages. I mean, what I can't stand is that there's such a good chant in The Whistle Blows the Cockerel Crows, which is a very, very, very old school, like very old school song, which comes on when the players are coming out for the second half. And I can't believe it's not sung more. I fucking love it. People must know the whistle blows, the cockerel crows. Let me know if you know it or not, and I'll give you the two. Should I give you the rendition of... Wait, if I just start this so I know where we are. Do people know, yes or no, the whistle blows, the cockerel crows anthem? Does anyone know that one? Just put yes or no. Very, very simply one. And it could be you're a season together. It could be you're an international fan, so you may not have heard it. But Joe, I'll start doing it anyway. And I apologise for my voice, ladies and gentlemen. So it's sang very old-fashionedly, not like... So it's, oh, the whistle blows, the cockerel crows, and now we're in the game. It's up to you Lilywhites, to play the Tottenham way. Oh, there's many a team from many a town, some big and some are small. But as for Tottenham Hotspur, they're the greatest of them all. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. And then the second verse is, we marched all over Europe to the shape of Jimmy Greaves. We humbled the Italians, brought the Germans to their knees. Oh, you've never seen anything like it in the present or the past. And as for Woolwich Arsenal, you can shove them up your arse. La la la, la 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 la. Honestly, and it got there isn't up, but they're the two main verses. And I absolutely... It's very, very hard to find it on YouTube. I've tried to find it. There's a couple of people that sing it. Exactly this. Exactly. Leggy the another new name. Big up. That is such an old school, and it is sung very. I can't explain. It's sung, and the music in the background. It is very, very old-fashioned kind of singing, but I absolutely adore that song and that chant, and it needs to be sung more often. It needs to be sung more often. It is such a good chant, and I must admit, if any people tuned in and just heard me going la 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 la, they must have thought, what the hell have I just tuned into? Or hearing me sing. But I love that chant, and I can't believe they don't sing it enough. And then obviously you got Barry Manilow, Can't Smile Without You, which little that song, it's weird. My mum, unfortunately, I'm embarrassed to admit this, my mum was, she's gone off him a bit now, was a massive Barry Manilow fan. And whenever he was in London, she used to go 3-4 times to watch him in London with all her girl mates. So I knew that Can't Smile Without You song way before I got deep into Tottenham, and I loved that song. So that song means a lot to me. And then you've got, obviously, When the Spurs and Glory, Glory, Tottenham Hotspur. But that, the whistle blows, the cockerel crows, needs to be sung more often because I love that one. Spurs, oh, wait a minute, I just missed out. We need the voice of reason. Mate, if I'm the voice of reason, the world is in big, big trouble, Jack, brother. Big, big trouble. Spurs, Patriots, brother. Big up to you, my man. Always a pleasure to see you in the chat and that beautiful Alsatian of yours. Big up, right? Okay, here's who I'm keeping. Not in order of priority. Van der Ven, Maddison. So agree. Kinski absolutely agree. Simmons, obviously. Gallagher, Kudus. Kulusevski, I'm very, very 50-50 with, because I don't know. He always is picking up injuries, and I don't think he's coming back the same sort of player. I think he's got this season to prove it. But if we could get money for him, which I don't think we would after such a horrific injury, I would sacrifice Kulusevski if could. Out of all these so far, the one I would sell as we got up to it would be Kulu. Bergvall, he's got to do more for me. I wouldn't be opposed to sending him out on loan, in all honesty. Paulinho, Gray, Benson Core, Danso. Mate, people will know my love for Kevin Danso. I am right up there. I am chairman of the Danso Appreciation Society. I fucking love big Kevin Danso. I think he is so underrated. I love Kevin Danso. I would add Pedro Porro to that as well. And I hate the rumours about Porro Manchester City. Although De Zerbi apparently said, I don't want him going and a new contract. And with all the Man City charges that might be coming up, and God knows what they're about to go through, is anyone really going to want to go to City without knowing their fate? So I don't see it. But I would add Porro to that list for sure. Is there anyone else? I'm going to think on that Spurs Patriots, but would you take Andy? Right, so you're thinking. So last season, I wanted us to go get Robinson from Fulham. I love him. I think he's a top draw left back, especially attacking. He does. I would love it if we got both, actually. If we could go get Robertson and Robinson and get rid of Destiny because of his injury concerns, that would be sensational. That would I think Robinson at Fulham is a terrific talent. But when it comes to all the leadership qualities and what Robertson's won and what he could pass down, put it this way, if it was on footballing ability right now, as they are right now, Robinson. But if we could take Robinson's football skills and Robinson's mental attributes and experience and leadership and merge it into one player, we'd have one hell of a left back. I don't know if that answers your question, Juan and Seba, but Robinson for footballing reasons, I would take him because obviously he's younger and he's got, but I don't think experience, leadership and everything else that he'll bring to the dressing room for that, I don't think you'll be able to beat Robertson. We've got good food here too. Oh, mate, when I'm out there, obviously you and me are meeting up for sure. I hope we can sort that out. I'd wait a couple of years. DJ, yeah, okay. Yeah, I know exactly why you're saying that. Stream when you want, not when you feel you have to. We'll all be here regardless of your time. Important things is mine and family streaming. Brother, this is it. No, Miro, do you know what? Going back to that time before I took the break, seeing that I couldn't find work or anything, me going on YouTube all the time was the only way I could try and get some kind of financial revenue coming into me and my wife. And I don't get paid to go on shows or anything like that, but I mean, me putting the work in on other shows would hopefully bring more people to Tottenham on tour and everything. And it just started taking over my life. And when my wife was like, do you know what, you need to calm down, go do a stream and whatever. And I realized, why am I spending time away from my wife when my wife is the one person that is like my happy place, apart from my niece and nephews. But yeah, I appreciate those kind words, buddy. And now this is the thing. I wanted to try and get a regular, Late Night Lilywhite will be Wednesday night, Friday night, Sunday. But obviously things with my energy levels, that it's been so far-fetched that it's been hard to always commit regularly to the dates that I'm keeping. So I kind of will make sure we do 2 or 3 Late Night Lilywhites a week if I can, but there'll definitely be 1 or 2. And I appreciate that and those words. And do you know what? I got so much support from people in the community, like you guys in the chat and everything, when I was going through that. Yes, you get the trolls and idiots on social media, especially Twitter, and in the YouTube comments after the fact. But when you realise they're the minority, and the great people like yourselves are the ones that always have time and great to speak to. It make me now, it's enjoyable streaming. Now it's enjoyable. It's not a necessity. It's not an obligation. I want to stream. I want to spend time with you guys, and it's the great way to be. It's the great way to be, and you lot are like a second family to me. You really are. You know what I think about all you guys, especially on this show. So fair play. I know it could end being up another Jensen situation, but one of the only consistent goal scorer in the world right now is Troy Parrott. Now, Troy Parrott is an interesting one. If we'd gone down to the Championship, I'd have been all over it. All over it. In the Premier League right now, right, so we were talking about, obviously, and I haven't talked, if we can get a legitimate, genuine goal scorer, obviously, not good. Let's just say a Dusan Vlahovic. If we could get a Dusan Vlahovic and a very, very, very good left winger, whether it's Savinho or Savinho and someone, if we could, would I have Troy Parrott as the backup and then Lancashire? Put it this way, I think Lancashire and Troy Parrott seriously could offer more than Solanke and Richarlison. But I think Troy Parrott, who's been sensational in the Dutch league and for Ireland, and I have said on countless occasions, people like Troy Parrott, and it's what I have loved about the youth or the younger generation now, they're not prepared to wait for Championship loans or League One loans. Look at Alfie. Alfie Devine went to Belgium last year. You've had Madueke and other players that have gone to Holland. You've had Bellingham's and Sancho's and other ones that have gone to Germany and done it. So any player now that's prepared to go to another league in Europe or wherever it may be, fair play to them for branching out. And I think it's done him the world of good. And I think Troy Parrott could be at Spurs again within the next few years. Do I think, and nothing worse than Richarlison, I think you're right to a point, but I think we need to be aiming higher. But I do see him coming back to Spurs in a few years, and I think he deserves enormous credit for what he's done. Big up KPV up at 3:30 or 20 to 4 in the morning back home. Big up to you, brother. There you go. Feel free to be buzzing. Aussie. COYS. I hope you're good, Geezer. I hope you're good. You are a legend, as Aussie Eric is saying. By the way, don't take too much. I need our Tottenham. Mate, like I said, I will soon be doing, I don't know at the moment, like I said, for people that have just joined or weren't at the beginning, I've got a job which I start on Monday. My shifts, the training is 9 weeks, but my actual shift is going to be 11:30 at night to 7:30 in the morning, my time. So if my training starts like that as of Monday, Late Night Lilywhite ain't going anywhere. But instead of being a clock with no idea how long we're going on for, it will be 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. my time, which will be 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock UK time. But on days off, obviously I can go whatever. But if my training doesn't start that time on Monday, and it's going to be 9 to 5 or 10 to 6, whatever, then Late Night Lilywhite will still be 9 p.m. until midnight or whatever, because I'm going to have to go to bed for work. But there will be some slight changes to Late Night Lilywhite, but it is going nowhere. And obviously after the World Cup, and I will be having some days off and whatever, come deadline day, there will be the mammoth shift that I always put in. And hopefully it'll be a good one, this one. Not, we signed Mawar. we've signed colonoscopy on loan right at the death because Solanke got injured. Any players that can get us back up the league, I'll take. George, in it, mate. I cannot be dealing. No Spurs fan should ever have to go against it. Okay, so we've got to I Like It. Yes, this is where the song in. We are the north side and the Park Lane. Oh, yeah, we are the shelves. Yup. Mate, I did sing. Well, I don't know if you guys be the judge. Did I sing it or whatever? These are the people that know they hadn't heard it. If I can find a copy of it, I'll get it. But it's very hard to find a copy of it. Yeah, exactly. He says, "Shells, 30 foot, mate. I know your pain. Being up that amount of time, mate. When I was going through the longest I went recently was I think it was about 4 days without sleep. And my wife was coming into bed and I was having full-on conversations with myself. Like, full on. It's not good. Sleep deprivation is a bitch. They do indeed, buddy. And now I've got the I've heard it. Arsenal Bar, mate. Honestly, that's a great song. Jonathan, you're making me blush. You're making me blush. I will fight. There are places. But yeah, thank you for my excellent singing. You make me blush, buddy. Underneath this facial hair, I'm red. I'm like a lobster. Yeah, that's the kind of song you belt out. Oh, absolutely shit-faced that, mate. Honestly, it is such a good chant. I just wish we'd sing it more. Oh, mate. Oh, God. Do you know what, mate? I hope he doesn't do one tomorrow, because if he does one tomorrow, then I'm going to have to tear it apart. And I will tear it apart. Like I toured Charrington's one, but if this guy, I must admit, I said by Wednesday evening. Oh, no, we had a Vinai video. Did guys that watched this Saturday night, did I or did I not say by Wednesday evening there'll be a Vinai or Lange video? Did I or did I not say it? And we got the Vinai video. Lange, hopefully if he goes quiet, it means he's out the door. But my God, if he comes out, I mean, yeah. If he does say one, come out today or tomorrow for me, but today for back home. If he does, keep an eye on Tottenham Hotspur because I will tear it apart. I will be tearing it apart brick by brick, bits by bit. Yeah, honestly, as soon as the full-time whistle went, if I had been the owner of Spurs, I would have had it on the big screens. Breaking news: Johan Lang, you off. I'd have got Alan Sugar, you're fired. That would have been the perfect way to send off the season, wouldn't it? I can't believe he's still there. I hate Liverpool. Oh, mate, look. That song is a very, very special song. I think it's one of the greatest, most iconic football songs in the world. And when I first went to Anfield, I can't remember how old I was when I first went to Anfield. 17, 18, whatever. Before the Wild Daigle was there and used to go with my mates on the Spurs official coaches and whatever. Under the floodlights, when you hear that song sang at Anfield at full pelt, it is goosebumps time. It is such an iconic song. And I just finished watching, before we went live on this, the Netflix show about them, the night in Istanbul. And they were talking, Jamie Carragher and Gerrard was talking about when they came out at half-time for the second half, they're 3-0 down and all they could hear was one of the most passionate renditions of You'll Never Walk Alone. It is an anthem of all anthems. Danso has the talent. The problem is time to think. Do you know what it is, Miro? And I think Kevin Danso. What's gone on with Kevin Danso? No, not what's gone on with Kevin Danso. Football has progressed in such a way. He is an old school defender that just absolutely loves defending. And footballers obviously come, you've got to be more cultured, play out from the back. He's playing out from the back. He has got to improve. There is no doubt he has got to improve on that. He's got to improve on his distribution. I completely agree with that. But do you know one thing? If you want a guy that will defend, put his body on the line, he is so aerially dominant. I think De Zerbi can... With him, you've always got that thing, is it a will or a skill issue? If it's a skill issue, you can train it, and with the right management and the right coaching, you can get it, you can make it better with working together. If it's a will issue, you're fucked, because that's the individual area, and they won't improve. I think Danso next season will, like these bits that he needs to work on, I think he's going to go from strength to strength. I love Kevin Danso. One of my friends actually bought me through one of the DHgate whatever. He let me know he ordered it. He's ordered me the new home kit for next season off DHgate, and he even put 4 Danso on the back for me, and I was fucking delighted. I love that man. Simon, big up to you, my man. Hope you are good and well. I would sell Porro, Brian, unless it... Yeah, listen, Spurs, with that, I agree. He needs to sign a contract with 2 years left. I agree with that. But I can't see... Obviously, he began at Man City, but Man City let him go. I can't see... They're now saying that the Man City announcement is going to come either before or during the World Cup. I can't see it happening before the World Cup, the deal being not the announcement. Spurs want, apparently Van der Ven and Porro are 2 people they want to get contract extensions. And De Zerbi has said, apparently, not officially, he does not want Pedro Porro to go. So hopefully with what De Zerbi or Van der Ven's having De Zerbi, Porro will feel the same. And Porro loves the club. If he doesn't sign a contract, I am with you completely, Simon, because I've said we can't have sentiment with these players anymore. If they've got the 2 years on their contract or big money comes in for them and you can reinvest to get better, then you get better. But the problem with this football club is whenever we sold, we very rarely get better. But agreed with you, Simon. Agreed. If he doesn't sign the contract, then definitely you're going to need to cash in. We also need to bin this league. Yeah, I think it will be gone. I think it will be. I think it will finally be gone. We'll see with De Zerbi. But even if De Zerbi does bring it in, I hope he does this well. For me, Vicario should not have been anywhere near this leadership team when Frank announced it. It was one of the first big mistakes. Madison, I don't know why he named him, was part of the leadership team. Obviously, off the pitch, blah, 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 but he's not going to help on it. So I hope if they do it, De Zerbi does it correctly and picks characters that will lead, not just names. Who would you like to see as captain? I would say that I think if Romero's got it, will be James Maddison. I think it will be James Maddison. But I would love Pedro Porro to be vice-captain. I've said this. I wanted him to be vice-captain last season. Van der Ven could very well be it. Even those 3. You got Conor Gallagher. Not saying he will be captain immediately, but he's got captain. Mate, it could be Andy Robertson. But no, who knows? I mean, that's the thing. But I think James Maddison will get it. I really do believe he'll get it. Good question though, Jonathan. Who would everyone else have as captain? Josie 777 coming in late, but good afternoon from Australia, Brian and all. Josie, it's always good to see you. Coming in late is better than not coming at all. And welcome to the show. That is a quality photo, by the way. Where is that? That is a quality... Mate, I'd love to be there right now. What a quality image that is. There you go, Auxiliary Agent saying welcome to fellow Australians. Peter, again, I don't know who this guy is. I've been deadly serious. Let me have a look at this player. B-U-R-K. B-U-R-K. And then what's the rest of the name spelled? Let's have a look. B-R-K-A-R-A-R-A-R. Oh, I've heard of him. I have heard of him. I've heard a lot of people talking about it. Now that I see the name, I've heard a lot of people talking about this kid or guy. He's 25 years old. Again, do you know what? He's the kind of player, like we were saying with Troy Parrott earlier. If Spurs go, let's just say we sell Solanke and Richarlison, but we go out and sign a top drawer striker. And when I say a top drawer striker, I don't mean the 80, 90, 100 mils, as much as I'd like us to go big. As much as I'd like us to go big like that, but him as an understudy or as a competition, that's not a bad shout. It's not a bad shout. But if we get him, I'd want a player above him that's going to be, right, you're the guy, and this is... But I've heard a lot of stuff about this guy, so I wouldn't be against it. Rumour, AC Milan are looking at Parrott. Bloody hell. That would be something for him. Forward. He's 25. Is he in the German World Cup squad? Is he in the German World Cup squad? Is he in the Germany World Cup squad? No, he's not been called up to Germany. He's not been called up. That's a shame. We could have had a real close eye of him. But yeah, no, that one, if we could get a decent, a top draw striker above him, I wouldn't be opposed to giving him a go. Certainly, I think he'd be better than Solanke. Mr. Sweden is in the house. Tony Rodriguez, my brother, good morning to you. How are you and the family, brother? I hope all is well, geezer. Still think that, yeah, honestly, see, what I will say with this guy is the 2 years he's been here, he's been injured a lot of it. Shockingly, who would have thought he was our medical team? But I keep going on about this stat that the year that he had for Bournemouth, he was the best. He scored the most goals from headers in the Premier League. Outdid Haaland, all of them. And the reason he scored a lot of goals is he had a certain winger flying down the line in Semenyo supplying him. And then he comes to Tottenham and we have no wingers of no quality to be able to supply him. So, if we were to sign, if we were to sign quality wingers, and I mean quality, and then we brought in one big striker, I would sell Richarlison and probably give Solanke that one chance. Would I rather we sold both and got two in, like a top striker, and this Jonathan Burkhardt that we've just been speaking about? Yes, I would. But I understand where you're coming from on that. Jonathan Boyd, I have no idea. No one stands out. And that's sad. Isn't it matters? Yeah. Again, this is the thing that matters. Could he stay fit? The guy at Frankfurt, our opponents in the Europa League, Chelsea. Yeah, the Bundesliga, obviously, we obviously keep a very close eye on a certain striker that is the best player in the world right now. Oh, God, don't say, oh, mate, now you've just put me completely off him. Every striker that leaves Frankfurt, oh, shit, hashtag Kolo Muani. Yeah, that's put a bit of a kibosh on it. It really has. Beyond the yellow, we'll watch you wherever. Beyond the yellow, thank you so much, guys. It means a lot when I get comments like this. It fist bump straight back to you as well, buddy. comments like this, obviously, it's always great to see and hear about stuff. But like I said, when you get the trolling that people like myself do get, and I'll be honest with you, I put myself out there, you get it. But for every 101 of them, just getting one of these it outweighs the 100 of them. So thank you. I agree with you. I think I agree with most on Richie. Need more out of number 9, but he did. Oh, mate, listen. But this season, the fact he stayed complete or fit for a majority of the season, and thankfully he did. Because if we didn't have his goals, God knows where we would have been. That's how bad things have been. And especially with Mawani being shit and Solanke being injured. The one season where we desperately needed him to stay fit, he did. Do we need better? 1,000,000,000%. Should he ever be Spurs' #1 striker? No. But I completely agree. I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Oh, I just got here. Sorry, I'm late. Scott M, I was wondering where you'd been. How dare you, brother? Is there some sort of official video you could play of that song? Someone's trying to get me to play a copyright song, a copyright strike. Unfortunately, not. I'm aware of what you're trying to do, but big up to you, Scott, brother. I hope you're good and well. You're eligible too. So I'm working on an 8-foot ladder. Fucking hell, mate. Mate, every time we speak and you say this, it blows my mind. It blows my mind that people like Miro's, the next comment, is doing the night shift and it's like keeps him up. It's amazing what the power of YouTube can do, whether it's Talking Spurs or any other channel that's live or whatever, that just brings people together in different walks of life at different times, doing different things. It's always great to hear. 4 days, Jesus, I can feel the vertigo just thinking about it. That must have been something out of my mate. Honestly, the longest I've ever gone, but I will caveat, was on a pure cocaine bender when I was bang on it. Was I think it went 8 days. 8 days without a wink of sleep. Just literally cocaine and alcohol fueled and non-stop. The come down and return back to earth was mad. But do you know what? It's explanatory and it's understandable because of all of that shit. But when you've gone 4 days and I had taken sleeping pills, but my body sometimes after I've taken sleeping pills realizes that it's trying to make me go to sleep. And they're like, no, we know what you're trying to do. And you know that feeling when you feel that you're about to go to sleep and you're like, oh yes, finally happening. And then it's like, I fooled you. Mate, honestly, full on conversations with myself. There were times when I just kept laughing and then I was like, what's so funny? And I was like, I don't even know why. Yeah, it's not great. Honestly, they did a show years ago in the UK. Kind of like Big Brother. Imagine the Big Brother house or whatever. But it was a group of people. It weren't for as long. It weren't. Jesus Christ. It weren't for as long. See, I'm yawning, but I'm actually not tired. But that would be because of the 2 coffees. They actually did it not for the length of time of Big Brother, but it was like the Big Brother house, but it was to see who could stay awake, the longest. And they started playing, asking you to do tasks and everything with sleep deprivation. It's one of the worst things. It's not great. The problem with Richarlison is Cock316 _6. Got to add the _6. The problem with Richarlison is that he probably have the worst. Yeah, look, with this first touch, I said before, you've got people sponsored by Adidas, you've got people sponsored by Nike, you've got people sponsored by whatever. Richarlison's kit boot manufacturers are bouncy castles. He has an awful, awful first touch. It's really poor. Epstein had a better first touch than Richard Solanke. True story. Obviously, we said before, today could be the day. Today could be the day. Let's hope not, but it could well be. Oh, Jesus Christ, here he comes. Yup. Look, look, as you know, Scott M, I don't know why I've taken my thumbs in to say 8. That was nothing to do with it. There will be no Danso slander or divine slander. Basically D's. And I may be biased because my surname is D, but there is no Danso or divine slander on Tottenham on Tour. It will not be tolerated. It will not be liked. It will not be. It will not go down well. Kevin Danso, Super Kevin Danso, love that man. Love that man. Remember the 2005 year, mate. Honestly, that game is without doubt the best Champions League final of all time, without fail. The drama and everything that went with that game, just insane. Insane. What a way to win the Champions League final. And you got to remember that, I completely forgot, just watching that documentary, that AC Milan team at the time, Jesus goddamn Christ, was something special. And to go 3-0 down and then do what they did, unbelievable. Mate, the fact that mate, you know what, some people are saying to me, if he had any self-respect, he would actually have done that himself. I said, listen, I want to tender my... He can't even do that. He can't even do that. If my friend ordered... Oh, here he goes. I'm so happy. You're making up for lost time, aren't you, Scott? If my friend ordered me a Danso kit, he would get a punch in the face. He would no longer be my friend. Well, maybe I don't have your address, do I? I can't just say deliver this to Scott M, Alberta. I don't think it will do very well, mate. Honestly, Danso, I love the man. Like I said, it will not be tolerated, Scott M. No more of this. I think if Porro leaves, Roberto, I think Porro. I can't see Porro going to City. I just can't. DH kids, hand washer, spin in the machine. No, mate. Yeah, exactly. I've got a couple of mates that have got their own companies as well, so I don't really use DHgate. But I'm not going to give Tottenham Hotspur any money. That's for goddamn sure. Carly, yeah, listen, people will... when Pedro Porro first came, I'll tell you what I think. When Pedro Porro first came, especially when he got torn apart by Leicester, but we were a mess, remember, that season. When we played Manchester United at home for Ange's first game, I was with Ben and Simeon. I was with my Levy Out crew because we'd done a protest before the Trust did their one protest for the tickets. When I saw Porro named as right back over Emerson Royale, this is how bad I used to not rate him. I dropped to my knees on Tottenham High Road and said, we lose this game. Porro can't defend for shit. But ever since I thought he played, I have been a huge fan of Porro for the last 3 years. Unfortunately, I mean, the beginning of Ange, he was fantastic, but so was most of the team. He's been asked to play right back, right wing back, the come more is central. But the thing with Porro, and I will always say this, whether people love him, hate him, don't rate him, in between, whatever, the thing that we have done with Pedro Porro is like what we do with a lot of people is, I have to say that people will verbally say, we overplay and undervalue players. And when I talk about undervalue, I don't mean financially. I mean their body, their health, their recovery. Pedro Porro, if you go look at the minutes he has put in for Tottenham in the last 3 years, he by far, and I mean by a country mile, has played more minutes than any outfield player. And because of the goalkeeper injury, he's probably Vicario, who would be probably his closest rival. He does not get a rest. Even when we had Jed Spence, who could have played at right back, and we could have put Davies or Destiny or whoever at left back, Porro, and guess what? Porro, and playing 90 minutes. So I think we have completely abused him and overplayed him. I think under De Zerbi, he's been much improved defensively. And I think with De Zerbi, we could see the real best out of him. But if we're going to start competing, not saying next season as in competing for top 4 or anything like that, nowhere near. But if we're going to start having seasons where you can see progression and we can see a pathway of where we're going, people like Porro need to be rested, rotated, and not playing every single bloody minute of every single bloody game. But that's your opinion, which you're entitled to, brother. Yeah, VDV, yeah, I think he signed a new contract. When you're saying Robinson, do you mean Robertson? I know we had the discussion about Robinson at Fulham and Robertson that's coming to us. Jupal, are you meant to say Robertson there? VDV showed his bad side a month ago. Do you know what this is the thing? I mean, people will know Paul Gascoigne is my favourite ever Spurs player, my second favourite ever Spurs player, and it will never change. He's a certain Belgian defender by the name of Super Jan Vertonghen. And Jan Vertonghen, obviously, you remember in Tim Sherwood, before we got Pochettino, between AVB and Poch, Vertonghen really down tools for Sherwood. So did many others. But then obviously Poch came in and he showed exactly what he's capable of and could have been easily a captain for Spurs. I get what you're saying, but since De Zerbi's come in, he's gone straight back to being the more dependable and Van der Ven we knew and saw at the beginning of the season and what we've seen prior. And the great thing about Van der Ven this season, I'm going to say it's very, very quiet because he's going to the World Cup, is he was available most of the season. Hardly had a big injury. And I'm only saying this quietly because I don't want the injury gods to hear it. So I could see him easily being up there. Oh, the southeast coast of Tasmania. Mate, that is mate. Australia, I've said, is I never see it happening in my life. And the reason being is unless I'm doing it first class, I can't do it because the ADD in me on that flight, I will drive my wife, myself, and the passengers crazy. And also because of the amount of snakes. And I know not everywhere is snakes in Australia, blah, 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 but my phobia of them is so irrational. But yeah, that is stunning. But who would that top striker be? Yeah, this is the thing. That is the thing, buddy. It is, as I say, I think the reason it is dry is because so many people play one striker up top now. Who's our top striker? Harry Kane. Let's go full on delusional. Spurs are going to revamp and they're going to go buy Harry Kane back. Sorry, I must have gone into that parallel universe again. The striker market is dry, but Spurs have got to find one. They've got to find one. It's a major, major issue. Australia, beautiful nation. Shame the wildlife wants to get. Yeah. Like I said, spiders. I know the spiders are beasts out there and deadly. They should concern me, but compared to snakes, no problem. No problem. If we get a top striker, yeah, I mean, he could get a chance. Sell Richie and Solanke. Keep Tell as second striker. Oh. Yeah, again, I don't know. I don't know with Tell. I mean, like I said, and I've said here before, out of Tell, Odebear, and all the youngsters, I think with the right coaching, Tell could be the one that drastically improves. Not saying he will, but I wouldn't have him as the second striker. Again, we're going to have to wait and see what we do. Utility is not... I must have missed what we're speaking about with that part. So remind me. We could have an anthem like "Hello Darkness, my old friend." Yeah, that could be used. I can see what Scott Emma's just said, and that we're going to be having an issue. Me and Scott Emma are going to be having a domestic very soon. Hello, Lilywhites, my friends. We come to make up, mate. Keep working on them. Keep working on them. Scott M. Divine Dancer and Dazelle. Well, I will say, Dazelle was when I was growing up. If I had Had up on his wall in his bedroom. I thought he meant had up. I was about to say, if I was having Danso and Divine ones, seeing I'm older than them, mate, look, if I could have posters up in my bedroom now with my wife of almost, we'll be married for 12 years on my birthday. Is it 12 years? 2004. Yeah, we'll be 12 years. It'll be 12 years this year. If I said, darling, listen, I'm going to put Alfie Divine and Kevin Danso photo on the. I don't think. Look, I don't. Divine is look. There's nowhere for me to go on Alfie Divine. People know that have watched me long enough, know my supreme confidence, faith, and belief in that young guy. That I can't wait to skip forward 3-4 years and just go, told you so, told you so, told you so. And hopefully he'll be doing it in a Spurs shirt. We shall see. Spurs has been all about the drama for the last 4 years. Oh, by far, brother. But let's be serious, Brad. When is there not a drama at Tottenham Hotspur? There always has been, there always will be until Enoch are gone and things can be done. Senesi and Paulinho, here we go before June. I might start. Well, don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Senesi and Robertson will be free. Don't get me wrong. 2 players that come in will make an impact. Paulinho is the biggest no-brainer. Will be was an option to buy, but Spurs are going to try and get it cheaper, of course, than what the price was. So that'll be 3 players in. And straight away, we're going to have fans going, here we go. This is the time. Look at the players we're bringing in. It will be a massive disruption. Yes, we would have brought players in early and they would fill positions until Spurs start hammering that front line and sorting that front line out with real quality. Don't believe anything. And obviously, if you want to, that's your opinion and you're completely right to have it. But talking to a guy that's got obviously a lot of experience in knowing all of the Enoch and Levy playbooks, it will be all well and good doing that at the beginning, but it's how it ends. And as you know, we're always left short. Oh, brother, are you coming? Oh, I remember you saying, how long are you? I think you're going to be a few hours away from Toronto, though, aren't you? But I remember you're on a school trip. If I remember correctly, you'll be on a school trip and there won't be a chance of you being in Toronto. No, I'll come and drop it into you Friday. I don't know if I can get into you Friday, but next time. Or when do you leave? When do you leave? Let's see if I can do it. Strictly come down, so and is as strictly come down. I've never heard that one from Strictly come down. So if you had said someone had come up with that and you hadn't put it, I would only say expressions. I would only say it. Don't disrespect the GOAT Emerson Royale. Beatable on his day. Believable abilities. Mate, I'm not going to go that. But yeah, that you've got to think straight away. That is what I'm thinking. Straight away, that is exactly what I'm thinking. But I don't think Nick, Barry, Sean would be up at 4:15 in the morning. I don't, and he's been here he's been here most of the show, Miro. So, but I have to say, when he put that in, there is no further doubt in my mind. Like we just said with expressions, and I would have guessed that with him. That's like a blatant one, BDV. That's a thing is that's a great point, and Gaza is my all-time favorite. Klinsmann, oh mate, Jurgen Klinsmann. It was the season before I got my season ticket when he signed the first time. But thankfully, seeing that I was still at a junior age, the tickets, which are obviously a lot cheaper than they are now, I pretty much saw every single home Jurgen Klinsmann game and quite a few away games. It was the first season I properly started going away. This guy was absolutely lethal, deadly. He was with all the stuff coming with him being a diver and a cheater and whatever, Jurgen Klinsmann was poetry in motion. And again, one thing you got to say about Teddy Sheringham is no matter who he played with, they loved playing with him. That partnership was absolutely insane. Coolers XE, big up to you. I haven't seen a single wildlife snake in my entire time being in Australia. See more spiders than anything. I'd worry more about the birds or spiders. Wildlife, yeah, I understand that. And a lot of people say that. A lot of people say that. And I understand that, Coolers XE. I honestly do. But I can't put into words how bad my phobia of snakes is. My dad has stopped me jumping out of my bedroom window because I was hallucinating when I was really ill one day that snakes were all in my room. I can't look at them on TV. I can't look at them in magazines. The very thought of them, even snake rubber toys or cuddly, I have such a irrational. Like I said, if I found out there was a pet snake in this building that we live in, or a snake came up the toilet system or whatever, I would move out of this apartment immediately. I would live on the streets if I couldn't. It is such a bad fear. But a lot of people say that, but knowing my luck, I'd go there and literally there would be one right in front of me and that'd be it. Look, Gary Mabbott, Miro, now we're talking. Gary Mabbott for me, till the day I die, will be the most inspirational captain this club has ever had, or I have ever seen. Obviously, people will talk about Steve Perryman and the greats before I really started following Spurs or was even born. But what Gary Mabbott had to go through health-wise, what Gary Mabbott had to go through injury-wise, he's just an absolute legend and inspiration. And not only that, I have met Gary Mabbott on many, many, many occasions. One of the most wonderful human beings to walk this planet. He is an absolute delight. Loves this football club. The work he did during COVID and still does by calling people when they get to a certain age or struggling through hard times. Gary Mabbott is the absolute epitome and the blueprint for what a captain is and an ambassador is. An incredible, honestly, I could not agree with you more, buddy. Don't we love a drama? Yes and no. Yes and no. Oscar Rodriguez, big time. This would be the fact we said earlier, the fact that he's not going to the World Cup is an absolute crime. I would do anything to get him. I would do anything. It's not going to happen in a million years, but I would absolutely love it. Yeah. I can't remember how much they owe us now. Obviously, when you take the tell money out of it or whatever, but he's got to. It's got to be. He's like this Barry guy, right? That's a typical Barry thing to say. I'm getting very. I'm going to just check WhatsApp and see if he's messaged me. Let's have a look. No, he hasn't, but Scott has messaged me something. Let's have a look. Ilana just sent me a message asking why is there a poster of an 18. Oh, dear. Oh, yeah. She would do, Scott. She would do. She'd find out your number from me. She probably would, Scott. So let's go. You used to do a paper round at the time. Red Klinsmann signed it just after 94 World Cup. I ran upstairs, shouted to my father, a huge year with signed Klinsmann. He said, "Shut up, yeah, mate." I remember to this day, I was at my cousin's house in Gants Hill, and we were just chilling in summer holidays. Obviously, I used to spend a week with my cousins, staying with my auntie and uncle, and then my cousins would come and spend a week with us. And that day that broke, it shook the world. And you got to remember when he came, the Premier League had only been going 2 years. It was about to enter its third. And he was one of the first genuine superstars that came to the Premier League and helped get it where it was. And for that 1 year, my God, did he win people around, not just Spurs fans. A gentleman, a gentleman off the pitch, an absolute warrior and destroyer on the pitch. Yep, mate, I would do this all day long. If we can get Dougie Freedman in, it'll be a fantastic move for this football club. Yeah, I hate spiders as much as you hate those snakes. Yeah, okay, so you get that. Although I have always said, I think it's changed names now, but I've always said with Australia, if I ever went, I would have to make sure I spend at least a week at the I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here for the UK. They stay at what used to be the Versace Hotel, but I think it's now changed names. And I have to stay at that hotel and be a bit of a snob because that hotel looks incredible. Yeah, mate. Mabba is just an incredible person. I'd rather Alex. That's a great shout. It's a great shout. I think Alex Scott will be a great signing. Good evening, Thunder Road. Catching up. Big up, brother. Big up to you. Aussie, how dare you? Mate, honestly, when I used to stay at my best mates when I weren't allowed at home because of being off the rails, they used to have a beanie, like the bean cushion kind of thing, one of those of the snakes. And in the morning, one of the kids at the time were, 6 and 4? And the way they used to wake me up in the morning is put this snake on me and start going, and I'd wake up, and you only wake up in the morning and you just see, and I literally jump, and I mean jump, out of the bed. It honestly, it is such an irrational fear. I cannot begin to tell you how bad this fear is. Alex Scott, mate, he did score against the Filth. He did, Eric. He did. And whenever asked about best away stadium or blah blah blah, he always says he picks no bones. He always goes, "Well, I'm a Spurs fan, so Tottenham." I actually thought we were going to get him before he went to Bournemouth. I thought Spurs were just waiting to see what the bid was that got the deal done. Then Spurs would just come in and hijack it, and we didn't. I think he could be a great addition, but I think Wharton right now would be the better choice. But if Alex Scott was available and we could get him, I would definitely go for him. I think there's absolutely no chance, but we were saying before, if we're to get a striker in and we could get him in, mate, I wouldn't be against it for sure. We sign Alex Scott, I'll be happy. He gets Binny. I'd love Somerville. I don't know about Somerville. There's just something about him. There's just something about him that he's got no real end product. He can run and take players on, yada, yada, yada. I don't know with him. I can understand people liking him. I don't. I'm not there. Alex Scott, I'm 100% there. Sean Hamilton, I grew up with Ledley King, even though we could say Deadly, why not? Defoe, Keane, Dawson, Madman, Bentley. So mine wouldn't be Mabba or anything, but I watch videos and have my dad and grandpa fill me in. If only mate, big time. Like I said, Sean, you grew up in, it's all about the eras you grew up in. Now, obviously, Ledley King, you look at it, him doing what he has to do with his injuries and once a week. Ledley King was an incredible defender. And I've said this before, and I don't know if you guys will agree. In some ways, Ledley King's injury, if he never had that injury, I don't think Spurs would have been able to keep him his whole career. Unless he was so, right, I'm not going in, I'm a Spurs man, blah, blah, blah. I don't think he'd ever do a Judas and go down the road. But I think him having those injuries, obviously, he was always going to stay at Spurs. But if he had kept fit, I think he would be so much in demand. He might have gone. But my God, for me, still to this day, he has made the best defensive tackle in Premier League history with that one from Iron Robin. That tackle is just simply magnificent. It gets better and better the more you watch it. But mate, you grew up with what's a team you grew up with? What's a team you grew up with? Gary Mabbott was just different. And like I said, when I speak to my dad or my late grandparents, the players they used to talk to me about is just unbelievable. Neither did Defoe at the time. Yep, true. English clubs are winning European trophies. Let's look. Thunder Road, big up to you. If Arsenal win it Saturday, they win it Saturday. Do I want them to win it Saturday? Absolutely bloody not. Absolutely bloody not. I can't, and I'm not just saying this. I just can't see PSG not winning. I just can't. I can't see it. I can't see anything other. But we'll find out soon. Yeah, this is the thing. This is the thing with him. For once, I hope the French can beat the English. Yeah, there's team of 16-17 would have won the title. Yep, the Pete Poch team would have been right up there this season, and it would have been. I grew up in an era of Harry Winks, Eric Dyer, and Oliver Skip. Truly the best guys that came out of England since Danny. What's a comment? What's a comment? That has skewed it that it's not Nick, unless this is Nick trying to throw us off the scent. I remember this. Oh, Scott, I wish I knew you in 1994. I wish I knew you in 1994. If this overrated clown thinks he's taking rocket spot in the team. Oh, dear. What's the oldest Spurs shirt you own? That is a great question. That is a great question. Well, I had a few old things, but when we drew 1-1 with Burnley before the breakup, that was our last game before the breakup with COVID. We drew 1-1 with Burnley, and I was so pissed off that game. Not because we drew 1-1 with Burnley, but during that game, I can't remember if we went 1-0 down or it's exactly when we equalised. Spurs obviously have, what's it called, when you schedule emails to go out. But on that day, during that game, Spurs had an email go out during that game for season ticket holders and members to let them know that because you're part of the membership and season ticket holders, you have your priority window for Lady Gaga. Was it Lady Gaga? It was Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga tickets are available now. I saw that and I went absolutely furious, and I literally took all my Spurs tops out there and then, out to the sideway of our apartment building and set all my Spurs shirts on fire. Like, fuck off this football club. But what I do have, which I don't know if I don't own them right now. My dad owns them, but they will come to me. Hopefully, many years down the way. My dad has a collection because growing up younger, there were some connections, and my uncle used to run or be head photographer for the restaurant, the Chanticleer. People remember the Chanticleer in the old Paxton. But my dad has got from the 60s to late 70s, early 80s, every single program in pristine condition. And the shirt from the Player of the Year that season signed with the number on the back of the shirt. So the earliest kit that I will own and will be worth a lot of money will be the early 60s. But right now, like I said, the oldest kit I have is probably I've got the fake version of the Gaza shirt for the FA Cup final, which would be my oldest, but I will have, like I said, quite a collection in a few years' time. How relieved? I can't even describe it. If I had a billion words, I can't even put into words how relieved I am, and us as a fan base. Question: if you had a wand, would you make Poch manager, or keep it? Is keeping in mind doesn't change the rebuild. Sean, I've answered not this. But the way I feel about Mauricio Pochettino, don't get me wrong, I absolutely adored him. I adored him in his first stint, and I went stark raving mad when we sacked him. I was not happy. I went nuts. But ever since he's gone, every single time we've heard the rumours he's coming back and I don't want Mauricio Pochettino anywhere near this football club whilst ENIC is still in charge. I don't want him anywhere near it because I do not trust ENIC. I do not trust ENIC. They'll probably say, look at the players you got, make it. I don't want him anywhere near us whilst ENIC are in charge. It doesn't even enter my equation at all. Should we get new owners, I would be heavily in favour of him coming. Not a number one, but whilst ENIC are here and they're doing things the way they do him, I don't want Poch anywhere near this football club. Come and watch games, fine. I don't want you anywhere near the managerial staff or anywhere near a employed status at Tottenham Hotspur whilst ENIC are here. Ex-throwaway half of mine from 99 is my oldest. Yeah, mate, that was... yeah, I literally... That's when I said I'm not going to... I after the season that we didn't sign anyone, or the summer, I said, right, that's it. I refuse to give Daniel Levy and ENIC a penny of my money until they're gone. And I'm still on that ban. I went back into the ground after Levy left. And obviously I didn't pay for my tickets because Ben and Sim sorted me out with their tickets for doing stuff with them as a thank you, here you go. And I refused to buy anything in the shop. I haven't even been in the club shop, the new one. And I refused to buy a drink in the stadium or food. And I won't let anyone else buy me drink or food because it's giving them money. Yeah, I go at things wholehearted. What is the address so I can bring my shirts to? Oh, mate, that was a long time ago. So, Hummel, I love the Hummel shirts. Mate, there's the left winger. I'd love to see Matoma. Savinho is being linked. I need to do a bit of research in the things that we want. We just need some proper quality players. Sorry, I get you from previous just being with the... Yeah, no, that's fine. No, mate, listen, that's fine. The rebuild and backing, yeah, listen, what I will say is Pochettino, it looked like in the first inning he wouldn't stand up to the board, apart from right near the end when he was like the furniture, and then he goes, don't call me manager, I'm the coach, I don't have influence, blah, blah, blah. De Zerbi has got that Conte, I'm gonna tell you what it is. So I think we need a De Zerbi type character now to absolutely hold them to task, and we'll call it out if need calling out. But on that note, guys, at the 2-hour 33 marker, I am going to call it a night because I am starting to get tired. There will be Tottenham on tour with the coffee company tomorrow at 9 a.m. UK time. No, 9 a.m. Toronto time, which is 2 p.m. UK time. As I said, I've got my first day in my new job Friday. I will be finding out if my training is the shifts that I'll be on, which will be 11 to 7:30 in the morning. So I will let you guys know if Late Night Lilywhite's going to move from 8 till 10 as opposed to 9 till midnight or whatever we do. But even if I do, if it's back to, if it's normal hours of 9 to 6 during training, then it'll be 9 o'clock till midnight and nothing changes. But after, when I start the job, it will be a change of times. But guys, it's always a pleasure. Just a couple of things that come in. Good morning and good evening and good night. Exactly. Matoma has been up. Yeah, I don't think he's been on the decline. He's picking up the injuries, but he's been there, done that. Would love it. And last comment. Big up, Brian. Hope you're well, mate. after so much sun. We've got a huge thunderstorm currently. How about you, buddy? I hope. Obviously, the weather has been absolutely roasting in the UK. It's warming up here. We had a couple of great days at the beginning of last week in the 30s, like you've had. Then it's cooled in the 20s, mid-20s, and whatever. Now it's picking up again, and tomorrow is the day that I love, or one of the days that I love. That I never know what day it is, but tomorrow is going to be the day where we put the air conditioning unit in the bedroom, which is always a monumental day that I love because it means summer is here. And a monumental day that I hate is when we take it out because I know winter is coming. And big up as the final comment I'm going to bring up, my man, Gary Bradley, who's Ireland's own, but here in Toronto, regular at the Scotland Yard, will be a regular next season when we are in the Premier League. Much love to you and thank you very much, my dear man. But on that note, I will say, guys, it's been great spending the evening with you or morning with you. Have a great rest of your evening or rest of your day. Even if it's the rest of your evening, have a great day tomorrow. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. And we will end with Lange piss off. The biggest word you've ever heard, and this is how it goes. Oh, supercalifragilistic fuck off ventilation. And as always, Enoch. Good night, everyone. Tottenham Hotspur.